All right. So we're going to wait just a couple minutes and let everybody get on. And we'll wait a couple minutes. How's your day going, Lucy?
Good. Mom, hey, when I'm on there, I say it like blue, but it's purple.
Oh, I see that now. Okay. All right. We're going to wait just a couple minutes and let some of our friends join us, and then we'll start talking. What are we going to talk about, Liz? Our bodies. Ooh. What's your favorite part of your body?
I don't know.
Do you like your hands or your hair or your ears?
I don't like any of that stuff.
Do you like your teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Are your teeth your favorite part?
Mm-hmm.
How many teeth do you have?
I don't know.
Can you count them?
No, you can. I can't see them.
What did the dentist tell you the last time we were at the dentist? How many teeth did you have?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hello, if you're just joining us, I'm Lindsay. I'm one of the co-owners of Mid-Michigan Moms, and I'm a homeschool mom. And for the last couple of weeks that we have all been we're always at home, but like at home and not going to school like usual, kind of out of the ordinary routine. We've been doing some Facebook Lives where we just sit down and kind of talk about some of our favorite things and maybe try to learn something new. So we're in Michigan. Where are you guys all from? What's your weather like? What's the weather like where you're at, Luce?
Oh, let me go check.
Lucy's going to go check. And Lucy's joining me today. And Lucy is...
It's sunny and cloudy, but the sun's behind the cloud right now.
Lucy says it's sunny and cloudy here, but the sun is behind the clouds. So it's partly cloudy or partly sunny, whichever way you look at it, right?
It's kind of partly sunny.
Partly sunny, yeah. All right. Hi, Charlie. And Thea. Did I say that right? I like that name. That's pretty. I like that. I hope I said it right. All right. We're going to get started. And we are talking about what are we talking about today?
The human body.
The human body. Do you have a human body?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. All right. And the human body is made up of lots of different parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all those different parts kind of work together and what can our bodies do?
I don't know.
So our bodies do some really amazing things. Our bodies can run and jump. We can take food, we eat food, and we turn it into energy so that we can grow. And if we get hurt, if we get a cut, our body can heal itself. Our bodies can grow other people's bodies. So mommies grow babies. It can fix itself. Your liver, so one of your organs that is called your liver, can actually regenerate itself. So if part of it were to become damaged, it can regrow and repair itself. Something that science is really cool and doctors can do. Did you know this? So your liver is right here, like underneath your ribs are a bone, and your liver, doctors can take part of your liver out and put it in somebody else's body if they need one. And your liver will grow back, and then once it's placed in somebody else's body, it will start to grow again and function like a liver. It's super cool. And livers are the only organ that do that. So we're going to start, and it looks like it's cloudy most everywhere we are. Hi, Reed and Nola, Dahlia, and Madeline and Aubrey and Ava. Let's see, who else?
And Gemma.
And Gemma. I don't know if Gemma's on right now. Gemma will come on and watch with us, won't she? So what we've done behind us, we're going to back this out just a little bit, is I don't know if you guys, I had mentioned a couple of lives ago that we go to our local newspaper public printer, and they sell the end rolls of their paper that they print the newspaper on. And so it's like 30 inches wide, and you can get varying lengths of, I don't know, I think this one was like 60 feet long. And so we drew and traced a picture of what earlier? We drew a Lucy. All right. And so we're going to use our Lucy to teach about our body a little bit. So what do you think is one of our, we're going to learn about that. What do you think is one of our most important organs? Our brain. Very good. Okay. So our body is made up of different systems. And so what that means is that our organs that work together are grouped together to do similar functions. So Lucy says that our brain, these are some printouts of some life-sized, child-sized organs. And these are super, super interesting, very cool. They're full color. Half of them are labeled, and you can get them labeled or not labeled and print them out. And
This is pretty big.
you can help to teach your kids about them. This brain, however, is probably not accurate to Lucy, but you probably nonetheless have a very big brain. So your brain in this picture looks kind of pink, right? But your brain is kind of like a whitish gray, and it's made up of two hemispheres. So two sides, and it has all these ridges and folds, and then it looks like these are not connected, but down in the middle, they are connected. And the right brain and the left brain communicate with each other. And then down here, you have like the midbrain and your brain stem, and your brain stem and your midbrain connect to this long tube that goes down your back. And do you know what that's called? Do you know what it's called?
No.
It's called your spinal cord.
Can I put it out?
And yep, it's going to connect right up there to your brain stem. Okay. And so
I'm just standing on my chair.
Oh, cool. So our brain and our brain stem are part of our nervous system. And our nervous system is also made up of billions and billions of nerves that are these little, they're like little tubes. They go all through our body, and our nerves help us feel things and help us move.
Is that next?
No, it's not next. So, Lucy, you are going to, so in your mind, I want you to think of something you want your body to do, and your brain is going to send a signal to your body to do it.
I don't even know.
So, okay, so for example, I am going to tell my hand to hold up only 2 fingers, and the signal that our brain sends to our hand travels over 200 miles an hour. 2 fingers, boom. Very, very fast. Our nerves in our body help to tell us if something's wrong. Our nerves, 200 miles an hour signal from your brain to your fingers.
Can I tell you a question?
Hey, David, what's up? Yeah.
I don't even need to send my brain the signal. It just knows what I need to do right away.
That's how fast those signals and messages go. Yes, it's crazy. And
This next.
so our nervous system helps us to tell us if something is wrong. If you get a cut on your arm, how do you know you have a cut? How do you know? Say we're outside and we just scratch our arm against a fence or something. Does it hurt? So that hurt is a signal that travels along our nerves up to our brain, and our brain says, oh my gosh, my arm hurts. And so what do? We look down at it. Oh my gosh, it's cut and it's bleeding a little bit. I should clean that up and get that taken care of, shouldn't I? And so what else do our nerves do? Our nerves help us to receive.
Is this next?
No, it's not. To help us to receive signals from our environment. So they help us to know if something is hot or cold, if something is loud, if something is a bright light. So they help us to understand our environment around us. And they also, just a couple minutes, you can have a banana. Bananas for everybody. And so the signals from our body, they also tell our body what to do. So they help us to walk and to talk and to move. And put your hand down. Your brain is going to tell your arm to grab that banana. And then your brain's going to tell your mouth to do what? Boom. All right. And something that's really interesting about our brain is that the left side of the brain controls the right side of your body, and the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. And I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. I had something come to me, but I can't remember. All right. Do you have anything else to say about the nervous system, about your brain?
I don't know.
No? Put that in your mouth. That's gross. That's not good manners. All right. So we're going to take your brain down. But is it still in there? Yeah, your brain's still in there. Okay. Lucy really wants to do the next system. What's the next system that you want to do? The digestive system. What does our digestive system do? Okay, our digestive system digests. So it digests our food. So our food goes into our body most often from our mouth. And stop. No. And in our mouth, we have teeth. And teeth are actually bones. And did you know they're some of the strongest bones we have because they're covered with enamel. And so it protects them, makes them very strong. Our mouth also has some enzymes and some liquid and stuff in our saliva that helps break our food down because we couldn't just put a whole banana in our stomach, right? We have to chew it down a little bit. Okay, so it goes from our mouth. We chew it up well. We swallow it. It comes down our esophagus, and our esophagus kind of moves food down in waves, kind of moves it down slowly, and it comes down to our stomach. And what is our...
It's like a giant water slide for food.
Ooh, a food water slide. You know what we should do? We should write like the American Association of Gastrointestinal Doctors and ask them if they would consider changing the name of esophagus to food water slide. I like that one. Food comes down to our stomach. Did you know our stomach is very small?
Wow.
Yes, it's very small, about the size of our fist. But what does it do when we eat? It can stretch. All right. And so food comes to our stomach and it stays there, and our stomach releases more liquid and acids and hormones and things. It doesn't release hormones. That's not correct. But acids and things to break down the food more, to make it into smaller pieces. And it also begins to... Yeah, David just told his brain to throw his banana away. Very, very good. And so after food will sit in our stomach for a little bit. David, you can go play. And after food sits in our stomach for a little bit, it will go into our small intestine. Yes, you can throw that away. Oh, you know what? I had one question. That's fine. We have one question. Someone asked us, why do our stomachs growl? Why does your stomach growl? So stomachs can growl for a couple of different reasons. They can growl. Your stomach can growl because it has liquid or air or food in it, and it's trying to kind of move it around, or it can happen because we're hungry. Your stomach will kind of growl and say, feed me. All right, after our stomach, it goes down into our small intestine, and our small intestine, and it's called the small intestine, but it's actually very long. Do you know how long it is? If we took it out of our body and stretched it out, it's 20 feet long. So Lucy is about 4 feet. So our small intestines are about 5 Lucys. If we laid you down, 5 Lucys long. And our small intestine, what does our small intestine does? How many Davids? About 4 Davids. And so it breaks, our small intestine continues to break. How many Frankies? About 6 Frankies. It continues to break food down, and it secretes some enzymes to break down food. And here is also where the bladder, we're not doing the bladder. It is where our blood vessels start to pick up, David, you can go do the cars. Start to pick up the nutrients from the food to send out to our body, because our body needs food to create energy, to heal itself, to grow, and to change, and to take care of itself. It needs energy just to function. We need energy to be able to move our bodies, for our heart to pump, for our lungs to work. And after it leaves the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine. And the large intestine, and the large intestine, is kind of sits behind, in front of, tucked into the small intestine. And the large intestine continues to, okay, David, come here. Go play with your cars. Go play with your cars. Lucy, sit down. And our small intestine continues to break down the food into smaller bits, and it reabsorbs water, and it works to form waste products from our food. So parts of our food our body doesn't need. There are things that it doesn't completely need, and so our body turns that into waste, and then our body gets rid of the waste. Okay, no, listen. No, it's Lucy's turn to the movie. You can go. No, David, you can go. Thank you, do cars. Okay, so then we're all done with the digestive system. So another system that, or you know what, actually, no, we were going to talk about the liver a little bit. I got distracted. I have no idea why I got distracted. I apologize for that. We have a liver. We mentioned this a little bit ago. So a liver can regenerate itself. Our liver kind of sits right here. And our liver is an organ that does lots of really interesting things. So our liver, as a part of the digestive system, helps to break down foods that are high in fat and carbohydrates.
Like my banana.
Yeah. And it also filters our blood. It cleans our blood. All of our blood flows through our liver. And so the liver will help to remove things from the blood that aren't supposed to be there. And it also forms bile that helps to digest food. And so the liver, so all of the stomach, the liver, we cannot live without our liver. Some people can live without parts of their stomach, parts of their small and large intestine. There are things that doctors and surgeons and things can do to replace those, but you can't live without your liver or part of your liver. All right, so next we're going to do the, which one do you want to do? Do you want to do the circulatory system? No, we're going to do this one or this one. You pick one of those two. I'm going to take these organs down. Okay, so wait 1 second. So next, okay, Lucy would like to do the respiratory system. Okay, so respiratory system. What is our respiratory system? No, you cannot, because it needs tape. A respiratory system, what does it do? It is how we breathe, how we breathe in air from wherever we live, and we turn the air into substances that we can use. So it consists of, no, please don't. It consists of our mouth. I want you to take a deep breath in. That's called inhaling, and you're going to exhale. So we breathe in our mouth and our nose. The air goes down our trachea. At the top of our trachea are our vocal cords. Our vocal cords are what makes our sounds that we're making, right? Our words and our sounds. If we sing, our vocal cords. And someone had asked, what do our vocal cords look like? So our opening to our trachea, it's kind of like a triangular window, and our vocal cords are kind of like curtains, and they'll open and close. And they kind of look like white rubber bands on the edges where they touch together. And they're very interesting vocal cords. All right. And then down here, our trachea will split into two, and we have a right lung and a left lung. And the lungs are similar, except that the right lung has 3 lobes and the left lung only has 2 lobes. And the best explanation for that is that our heart sits in our chest, kind of nuzzled over here into our left lung. And the other organ that's part of our respiratory system is our diaphragm. And our diaphragm is a very strong muscle, and it works to pull when we inhale and relaxes when we exhale. And so what happens? So we breathe in this air, and inside our lung are tons of little air sacs, and they puff open, and those little air sacs, alveoli, will open up and touch a blood vessel that flows through our lungs. And then that blood vessel will grab out some oxygen and take that oxygen to our body. So very cool.
Is it snacks?
It's not. You really want to do those kidneys, don't you? We're going to do, let's show everybody this thing we made earlier. So this is a very not good example of your lungs. And so we tried a couple of different ways to make these, but it wasn't really great. It wasn't turning out how we wanted it to. So what we have some straws, and these represent our trachea, and they break off into 2 lungs, and our lungs are kind of like little balloons. And what happens when we breathe in? We fill up our lungs with air, and when we breathe out,
Can I do that?
they empty out a little bit. Do our lungs ever completely go flat and empty? No, they don't. There's always a little bit of residual oxygen that sits in them.
It's not working.
You have to go in and out, in and out. All right, and the next thing, I think you just popped a lung. So if you get a hole in your lung, you can get a pneumothorax, and now you need a chest tube. And those are very painful. The next thing we're going to talk about is our circulatory system. What is our circulatory system? It's made up of one very big organ. What is it?
I need to know where it goes.
It is right here. It is the, what is that? What is this?
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's our heart, silly. Okay, can you sit down? So our heart is a very strong muscle. And it is on the inside. It's not the shape of a heart, I know. And it is made up of 4 chambers on the inside. And what happens is blood will come back to our bodies as unoxygenated.
Oh, can you go to the top?
Yep. So our blood will come back to our heart. And when you see pictures of things of our heart and our blood in books, you'll see that it's blue. And that just means it's unoxygenated. And our blood comes back to our heart into this right side. And where do you think this blood is going to get its oxygen? From your lungs. So this blood will travel through your lungs and come back to the other side of your heart. And it's got a lot of what now? And it's got a lot of what now? It went to the lungs and it got a lot of oxygen. And it's going to send this oxygenated blood back out to your body.
And then it will go back to our heart.
Hey, David. Every cell in our body needs oxygen. It needs oxygen to live and grow and survive. And
Can I take that off?
and so the heart is very important in that we need to make sure that our heart is beating properly so that it gets blood out to the whole body. What do you think what do you think how many times do you think your blood circulates through your whole body?
I don't know.
About 1,000 times every day.
Like this day?
Like this day. This is a good example, yeah. And so it's muscle, so it contracts and it's beating and pumping blood out to your entire body. Wow. Your blood contains lots of different cells. It contains red blood cells. Those are the ones that carry oxygen. It contains white blood cells. White blood cells are the blood cells that help us to fight infection or fight off any infection. You can go potty, that's fine. Infection, we also have platelets in our blood. Platelets help to stop bleeding. We'll have a snack in a couple minutes. It also contains different minerals and vitamins and things. And as a matter of fact, our blood is very salty. Did you know our blood contains as much salt as ocean water? Did you know that, Lucy?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So next time you go to the ocean, you can have some ocean water and it'll be as salty as your blood. All right. One of our other systems of our body is our integumentary system. And our integumentary system has our biggest. Hey, you know what? You need to go potty, okay?
I don't need to go.
You just said you did. So
I actually don't.
Okay. And it contains our skin. And what is our skin? Our skin is our largest. No, can you please take that? Is our largest organ. Our skin protects us from harm. It helps hold our muscles and our bones and everything in place. And it also, no, you can't. It also contains all of our hair and our, David, when I'm finished. No, when I'm finished. All of our hair.
Tablet when we're done with this show.
Yes, all of our hair, our sweat glands. And we had someone ask us earlier today, why do we have hair? And so hair actually keeps us warm. It helps insulate us. And our hair on our head keeps us warm. It helps regulate our temperature. And shh, it is long because I haven't had a haircut. We haven't left the house in a month. And is also
put it on again, but it's still short.
Good idea. And our hair also helps to.
Right here.
Good job, Liz. It also helps us to have some sensory receptors to detect pain or sensation and pressure. That's fine. You can do it. Our next system is our skeletal system. Our skeletal system is made up of all of our bones. And what's really interesting is our bones, we are born with about 300 bones, but as we grow, some of those bones form together to make longer bones. And so as an adult, we have just over 206 bones as an adult. And so that's super interesting. And what do our bones do?
4-year-olds have.
How many bones do 4-year-olds have? I don't know. We're going to have to look. And what do our bones do? Our bones are our framework. They help hold us together and they protect. Okay, you're going to have to go if you can't sit still, okay? And they help to protect our vital organs. So we have bones around our chest called our rib cage, and that helps to protect our heart and our lungs and keep us safe. And we also have, okay, you're all done. You can go. You're all done. You can go.
Is this so loud?
Yeah, go ahead. And we also have, that's fine. You also have a muscular system. And yeah, muscular system that has our muscles. And our muscles help us to move and help us to... our muscles help us to move. And we have over 600 named muscles. But a lot of physicians and scientists and things estimate that people could have hundreds of more muscles that are so minute that they don't even have names and don't really fully understand all the individual separations of them and where they're located. And so there's over 650 named muscles, which is really incredible. And you have different types of muscles. You have smooth muscles, like in your mouth and your stomach. You have cardiac muscles in your heart. And you have other skeletal muscles that are in your muscles, the muscles that we think of, your arms, your legs. Let's see, we did muscular, skeletal, digestive, respiratory. The last one that Lucy really wanted to do, and she's missing out, is your urinary system. So your urinary system is comprised of your kidneys, and our kidneys are very important. We have two of them. They lie kind of down in our abdomen down here, and they filter all of our blood. And so they remove waste from our blood that our bodies don't need, and they collect it. And my bladder is missing because I have children. Here it is. And the kidneys will take this liquid waste and it travels down you have two ureters, and the ureters will take that liquid and it will be stored in your bladder until you're ready to go to the bathroom. Our kidneys are very important because they filter all of our blood. However, we have two of them and we can live without one of them. And you may have heard or read of people doing living donations of kidneys, which is super interesting and exciting to hear that you can take one of your organs out of your body and give it to somebody else, and it functions and works for them. And it's just one of the really amazing, incredible things that our body does. I'm trying to look back. I wanted to look back. I saw a couple of questions that people had, and I want to make sure I didn't skip them. It is true that our nose and our ears never stop growing. So your ears and your nose will continue to get bigger throughout your entire life, but your eyes will stay the same size. That's very interesting. I think that's very interesting. Where does our blood come from? Our blood, it comes from many different places, but one of the biggest places that our blood comes from is our bone marrow. Also, our spleen, another organ that we have, helps to make blood cells. And what happens is when our blood is filtered through our kidneys, our kidneys can detect whether or not we have enough blood cells and if the blood cells are carrying enough oxygen. And if they're not, they'll signal our body to produce more blood cells. Do we have the same amount of blood? Do you get more blood as you grow up? You do, because the amount of blood...
and this dragon mouth, there's a tooth left. Did you know that?
Dragon math, guys. I can't recommend it enough for your math-resistant children that love dragons. Dragon math. As we grow, we do produce more blood. So our body will produce blood relative to what we need. And so as we get bigger, we produce more blood. Something that's very interesting, when women are pregnant and going to have a baby, your body will produce up to 30% more blood to help to accommodate to the growing baby. It's really interesting. Okay. And our last question, how do we take care of our bones? This is a great question. And really, taking care of your bones is no different from taking care of your body overall. So the most important things are being active. And being active, what does that being active mean? It means running and jumping and going for walks and playing outside. And if you have a dog, running around with them and playing fetch. And playing on the playground and swinging. And it also means sports, playing basketball and swimming and participating in gymnastics, those types of things. Also eating healthy foods, but eating in moderation. everything that we do should be in moderation. And so we can eat sweets and things that are not great for us, but it's not something that we regularly eat or we eat a ton of. So eating lots of fruits and vegetables is really important, and getting good sources of protein from eggs and beans and fish and chicken, and cheese, and eating, as I like to tell my kids, you want to eat a rainbow, eating things that are lots of different colors. And on our blog, one of our writers has wrote a post about it, and I love it, is they have a rule on their plates. Their kids all have to have 3 different colors on their plates. And I think that's genius. And so that you're getting a variety of, from the different colored foods, a variety of vitamins and nutrients and minerals and things our body needs. How else do we keep our bones healthy? Well, by taking care of just protecting ourselves, not being too wild and crazy, not jumping off of couches and, tall things, and making good decisions with our bodies. Making sure you're getting the vitamins and minerals you don't need. So my kids take a multivitamin every day, and that helps to give them just a little bit more nutrients that they might not get in their diet. And that's very helpful. Okay, the last question. Why are some people ticklish?
Anyway, he said hiccup, so that means the character. So we know he's ticklish.
All right. Why are we ticklish? So I was reading about this. This is really interesting. Some people think that people are ticklish because it's a defense mechanism. So if you think about the places that we are ticklish, it's kind of very vulnerable places. So underneath our chin, underneath our armpits, our belly. And so we're ticklish to kind of defend ourselves and protect those areas. Something that we did earlier today is we printed out this book, and I love these little reader books. They're for younger elementary kids, students, and they come in different levels. So as far as like understanding and reading ability, and this is a My Body Systems, and it goes through really briefly. There's skin, muscles, stomach, and so it goes through the different systems, and skeletal system, and my brain and the nervous system. And this is free. And in the link of this video, it goes to a post, and I put all the links to, so like the organs and the reader, and there was another, there was something else I put in there. I can't remember. There's something else in there. And there's also some resources that are really good for just to learn a little bit more about your body. There's some National Geographic Kids resources, and some DK resources that are great for kids, and they always have really interesting ways of explaining things. I love using those resources. The other thing we were going to talk about real quick before Lucy jetted out was our 5 senses. So we have 5 senses. Our 5 senses are sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. And they're all very important. We can live without one or more of them. So our sight generates from our eyes and helps us to see the world around us, helps us to be safe, to anticipate things that are coming at us, helps us to identify things, recognize things. And they also have, my husband's gonna be so proud of me, each of us have a very unique pattern on our iris. So the iris is the colored part of our eyes. And it's a unique, everyone's iris is different. And so you can see that some security features of phones or computers or things is an iris scanner. Something else that's unique, so our fingerprints, everybody knows all of our fingerprints are different. No one has same fingerprints. Also, our tongue prints, everyone has a unique tongue print. Taste, we taste with the taste buds on our tongue and at the back of our throat. And so what are the different things we taste? Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and savory. So 5 different tastes. And it's interesting because I was reading that our taste buds across our tongue can taste in all of those tastes. I think I had seen something, and I saw it in our Magic School Bus book, that it showed a diagram. It said you taste, sweet on the sides and sour in the back and bitter in the front. But all your taste buds across your tongue are kind of evenly distributed. Let's see what else. Hearing. So hearing works, we funnel sound in through our ears, and it goes down into our middle ear, and the vibrations of the sound waves will strike it, and our bones will vibrate the sound also and send a message up to our brain, and that will help us via our sensory nerves to hear. Our ears and our hearing, specifically some of our tubes in our ears, help us with balance, so help us to stay upright and not fall over. And hearing is important. It helps us to stay safe. It helps us we can recognize things that may be coming at us or be near us. And so hearing, also very important. Smell, we smell with our nose. Research says we can smell over 1 trillion scents. And so everyone is familiar with like dogs having really good sense of smell. Well, humans can smell just as good. And how do we smell? There are some nerve openings right in the back of our nose, and they will send a signal up to our brain to recognize smells. They're very good. Let's see, what else haven't we talked about? We talked about taste, touch. So we touch, I think we're familiar with touching with our fingers, but our whole body can touch. And so we will receive a sensation or a signal, and it sends a message via our nerves up to our brain, and our brain will sense pressure or temperature or light or heat, and will send us a message of what to do next. Is it hot? Don't touch it. Is it pressure? Does it hurt? Or is it a hug? And so our skin, we have receptors throughout our entire integumentary system on all of our skin, but some skin is more sensitive than others. So for example, you can feel things a little bit better with the tips of your fingers versus like the back of your leg, your calf. All right. I was going to show you 2 things that I love to use with my kids, and I just said this is like not accurate anymore. So maybe Magic School Bus needs to, revise, and I'm sure they do. I think that this is my edition of the Magic School Bus inside the human body when I was a child. It's from 1987. And then the other thing I wanted to show you guys is this really cute puzzle. It came in a little box. This is from the Target Dollar Spot. If you don't know what the Target Dollar Spot is, you're lying. No, it's just a cute little place where they have things that range from like $1 to $5 or $7, and just things you don't need in the dollar spot. But the things that I love the most are the educational things. And so this little puzzle contains lots of little pieces that come together to form the different systems of the body. And so these 3 pieces will make up your skeletal system. And then on the back, it gives you some skeletal system facts. And it has the circulatory system, so our blood and our blood vessels, and then the digestive system, the nervous system, those kinds of things is super cool. So if you have not been to the Target Dollar Spot, or you don't know what it is, it's probably a good thing, because who knows how much money I have spent there. That's all I have for you guys today. I really thank you all for joining us. Again, I'm Lindsay. I'm one of the owners of Mid-Michigan Moms, and we're just kind of a local site where we try to help support moms and parents, help you find things that are going on around town, give recommendations of things that we truly stand behind that are helpful to our family, and give you resources. So, splash pads and swimming pools and apple orchards and pumpkin patches and those types of things that you may not know where to go or what's the best of. And I'm also a homeschool mom. I've been a homeschool mom for a couple of years now. I love homeschooling my kids. So if you guys ever have any questions about homeschooling, we'd love to hear them. I'd love to help you with that. So I thank you guys for your time. I hope that everyone is doing well in this kind of interesting, uncertain time where we are just kind of waiting to get our lives back kind of to normal, the typical patterns. And I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are finding things for your kids to do and keep yourselves occupied. And if you're not, check out our website. We have lots of cool ideas and lots of free things you can do with them. So I hope everyone has a great week. And we have a couple of lives coming up with Mr. Spooner, our local elementary PE teacher. And he's going to teach us some new things, help keep our bodies moving. And then if you have an idea of something that you'd like me to do for a video with one of my, maybe not one of my kids next time, I would love to hear ideas. I love sitting and hanging out with you guys. And if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. All right, guys, I hope you have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you later.